There is a decision that most people make between the ages of 22 and 35, a silent decision, almost invisible. And that decision determines whether you will retire comfortably at 55 or continue working, tired and frustrated until 70. The worst part is that most people don't even realize they made this decision. They only discover it when it's already too late. My name is Tim, and today I'm going to show you exactly what this mistake is, why it repeats itself generation after generation, and what you need to do now to avoid falling into the same trap that can cost you decades of your life. But first, I need to ask you a question. When you think about your retirement, what do you imagine? A beach? Time with your family? Traveling? Now answer me honestly. Are you actually moving toward that? Or are you just hoping things will somehow work themselves out over time? Because there is a huge difference between those two paths, and the mistake I'm about to show you is exactly what separates the people who get there from the ones who don't. Let's start with a number. Imagine two people who are 25 years old. They both earn the same amount, $5,000 per month. They both have the same expenses, the same bills, the same lifestyle. The difference between them is a single decision made at this specific moment in life. The first person starts investing $300 per month right now at age 25. The second person waits. They decide to wait until age 35 to start doing the exact same thing, $300 per month. Just a 10-year difference. It doesn't seem like much, right? When they both reach age 65, assuming an average return of 8% per year, the first person will have accumulated more than $900,000. The second person will have less than $400,000. The same discipline, the same monthly investment, the same strategy. The only difference was a 10-year delay. That's the mistake. But the problem isn't just mathematical. The real problem is what happens inside the minds of people who wait. When you're between 25 and 35, retirement feels abstract, distant, almost unreal. You have other priorities. Maybe you're paying for a car. Maybe you're buying an apartment, building your life, wanting to enjoy the moment. And all of that makes sense. The problem is that at this stage, your brain is wired for the present. It's very good at feeling the pain of giving up $300 today, and very bad at feeling the cost of not having an extra $500,000 40 years from now. Researchers call this temporal discounting. Future rewards feel smaller than present rewards, even when they are enormous in reality. And that's exactly why so many intelligent, disciplined, hard-working people reach their 60s, look at their bank accounts, and realize they don't have enough to stop working. It wasn't laziness. It wasn't irresponsibility. It was simply the way our brains are programmed to function. But here's the part that changes everything once you truly understand it. Time is not just a factor in this equation. Time is the most valuable asset you have. And unlike money, you can't earn more of it. There's no overtime for time. There's no promotion that gives you back the years that have passed. Think about it this way. If you have money and lose it, you can recover. If you have health and lose it, maybe you can treat it. But if you have time and lose it, it's gone forever. Every month you go without investing. You're not just losing the money from that month. You're losing all the returns that money could have generated over the next 20, 30, or 40 years. It's like throwing away a seed that could grow into a tree. You're not just losing the seed, you're losing the entire forest. Now let me show you how this mistake shows up in real life, because it's more subtle than it seems. Most people don't wake up one day and decide, I'm going to regret my retirement. What actually happens is different. They keep postponing, but always with a good justification. First, it's the car. I need a reliable car to work. That makes sense. Then it's the apartment. I need to stop renting and build equity. Also reasonable. Then it's family. Kids are expensive. True. Then it's the kids' college. Then it's renovating the house. Then something else. And something else. And suddenly they reach 45 years old with a good salary and a stable life, and realize that in 20 years of hard work, they never built a real retirement foundation. Every step seemed reasonable. The final result was catastrophic. But here's something people rarely stop to calculate. The lifestyle you maintain today has an invisible cost that goes far beyond the price tag. That new $35,000 car. You pay the installments, insurance, maintenance, fuel. Over 5 years, you easily spend $50,000 on that vehicle. But the real cost isn't $50,000. The real cost is what that $50,000 could have become if it had been invested. In 20 years, at an 8% annual return, that money would be worth more than $230,000. You didn't just buy a car, you traded $230,000 of your retirement for a vehicle that will lose 20% of its value in the first year. And this is not an argument for never buying a car, never going out to dinner, or never enjoying life. That's the wrong mindset that makes people quit before they even start. The idea isn't to live like a monk. The idea is to understand the true price of your choices and make conscious decisions instead of automatic ones. Because there's a huge difference between spending $50,000 on a luxury car because you calculated and decided it's worth it for you, and spending $50,000 on a luxury car because everyone else does it and you never stop to think about the real cost. Now let me show you how time works when it's on your side, because this completely changes how you see the situation. Imagine you are 30 years old and start investing $500 per month today in a diversified index fund with a historical average return of 8% per year. In the first few years, it will seem slow. After 1 year, you have a little more than $6,000. After 5 years, almost $36,000. It seems reasonable but not life-changing. But then time starts doing its real magic. After 15 years, you're close to $200,000. After 20 years, more than $300,000. And after 30 years, when you are 60 years old, you're looking at more than $680,000. And from that point forward, the number that matters most is no longer how much you deposit each month. It's how much your returns are generating automatically. With $600,000 earning 8% per year, you are receiving nearly $4,000 per month without working, without selling anything, without trading anything, without depending on anyone. That is real financial freedom, not an abstract concept, a concrete, measurable, calculable reality. Now here's the most important part of this video, something most financial content gets completely wrong. Building wealth is not about depriving yourself. It's about understanding that you are in a race against time, and the earlier you start, the easier it becomes. Not because you will earn more, but because time starts working for you instead of against you. There's a phrase that summarizes all of this. There comes a point when your money works more hours per day than you do. And when you reach that point, the game changes completely. You stop trading time for money and start using money to buy back your time. But there's a mindset mistake that prevents many people from ever getting there. People treat investing as leftovers. They pay all their bills, live their month, and at the end, if anything is left, they invest it. The problem is that almost nothing is ever left. Something urgent always appears, some unexpected expense, some opportunity that couldn't be missed. The mindset that changes everything is simple. Pay yourself first, before any bill, before any expense. You separate your investment portion as if it were a fixed bill, like rent or electricity. Non-negotiable, not optional, automatic. It sounds obvious when said out loud, but the gap between knowing and implementing is enormous. Because implementing means saying no to things you want today in favor of something you still cannot feel or touch. And that goes against everything our brains are wired to do. That's where the most important principle comes in. Build systems, not discipline. Discipline is finite. You wake up tired, you had a difficult day, you're stressed, and discipline disappears. Systems work regardless of how you feel. Set up an automatic transfer to your investment portfolio on the day your salary arrives. You won't even see the money. It goes straight to work for you. It sounds too simple to make a difference. But this single habit, implemented before age 35 and maintained consistently, has created more financial independence stories than any sophisticated investment strategy you'll ever read about. Let me leave you with this. You will probably work for the next 30 or 40 years. The question is not whether you will work. The question is whether you will work because you have to or because you choose to. That difference changes everything. It changes how you feel on Monday morning. It changes how you negotiate at work. It changes the risks you are willing to take. It changes the life you build. The mistake that makes people work until 70 is not irresponsibility. It's not overspending. It's simple. Waiting for the right moment to start. And the right moment never arrives. It never arrives because life will always have a reasonable excuse for you to postpone a little longer. The right moment is now. Not when you finish paying the car. Not when the kids grow up. Not when your salary increases. Now. With what you have. With things exactly as they are. Because 10 years from now, you will look back and thank yourself for starting today. Or you will look back and wish you had started 10 years ago. The choice is yours, but it has to be made now.